Game.
Texting. 911, 411, anyone. Anyone.
SOS?
SOS.
Please.
Smoke signals, flares in the air, anything.
Bombs over Baghdad.
Something. We are doing I would call it an emergency IDD.
Is this an emergency IDD?
I would say it is because I needed this tonight, and I thank you for showing up. I was going to do this solo, but I'm glad he's here.
You've been there for me.
The redoubtable one himself, Tom Izzo, the highly questionable one, RJ Miliaccio, although I am not the one who should be questioned right now. Okay? Segment 1, all things Boston Celtics heads rammed directly up their asses again. We're in the mid-sack, people. I'm starting to wonder if the Celtics have any. Because honestly, when a player, any player for that matter, in the opposing team's locker room guarantees a Game 1 win.
Ugh, I forgot about that.
Guarantees a Game 1 win. And then goes up and proceeds to bend you over in the second half and doesn't say, would you like lube? No. No. Okay? Just literally rode you all around that arena. Rode you like he stole you. Rode you like there was no cameras watching. Like, rode you. Just got, like, bring out the gimp. It was that kind of shit. That's what Jimmy Butler did to the Boston Celtics.
I'm shaking the camera because I'm not laughing out loud, but I'm doing
that is what Jimmy Butler did last night. Okay? After he said he was going to do it.
Come on, LeBron.
I don't see. I can't. I don't know where to start with this because this is the first. This might be. I think no, it is. This is the first Celtic team. I think I want to lose.
Shut up.
I want them to lose.
I don't believe.
And I'll tell you why.
I don't believe.
When I give you the reason, you will. They literally insult the game of basketball the way they approach it. They insult everyone who loves the game for what makes the game great. They insult you. And if you're a Celtics fan, they're literally slapping you across the face. Okay? Right now. And they insult me.
This is very dramatic,
They
folks.
fucking insult me. They make my skin crawl. They are everything that is wrong with this sport right now. Arrogance. Okay, literally fucking, just show up and we can whatever. And they literally think that they have so much talent, nothing else matters. Nothing else matters. And that's why they lost the championship last year. And that's why they may go down to this team. I said when it was 2-2 against Philly, I said somebody's going to get these guys. I don't know who it is. It might be Miami because honestly,
you did say that.
Miami is smart enough to take advantage of them. And listen, Eric Spoelstra is the best coach left in this tournament, and it's not close. And I said this before Game 1. Do not let this come down to coaching. Because if it does, the Celtics are going to lose 6 ways to Sunday. Okay? And the reality is last night was just a small taste of it. And the worst part about it was, as bad as he was, the coach, this wasn't on the coach last night. Because honestly, as someone who played this game, as someone who's coached it my whole life, if you're in the Final Four of the NBA playoffs.
Look at this.
Yeah, that's perfect.
He trying to do a little cradle rock on a fast break and drop it.
LeBron James trying to show off. Couldn't just take the layup, could you?
Just dunk it.
Just dunk it.
Dude, he got a nice tomahawk dunk.
What a moron. You see that? By the way, that's the best player of this generation doing that in a playoff game. That there is what's wrong with today's NBA. I got that. The best player of this generation just did that in a playoff game. And they're down 1-0 and he's doing that. That's how stupid. This is what I'm talking
let's see
about.
what happens.
Anyway.
That could be a game changer.
It could be.
Because that was a chance to go up
10.
And now if Nuggets come out and score, that's like a 5-point swing or
And the worst part is
swing.
he's trying to show the Nuggets up and they're watching that. They're not laughing at that motherfucker. Oh, really? Okay. But anyway, right there, he's the poster child for this generation.
Come on,
and the bottom line is...
You know I like LeBron. That was dumb.
That was dumb. That's the problem, though. They're all fucking dumb. It's just like they're unbelievable.
Do you remember when the skier did that?
Yes.
Do you remember that?
I do.
She tried to get a little, do a little move on like the last jump.
She paid for it.
Man.
Yeah.
That's a bad. That was one where I looked at it and I was just like, God, I know that hurts.
You don't have sympathy.
God, that hurts.
Why are you doing that?
Right.
I mean,
Why
but anyway,
would you do it?
the Celtics.
Sorry, my apologies.
The Celtics are they are the most talented team I've seen in this league probably in the last 10 years from 1 through 12. And they are also the dumbest and the most arrogant, and they've done nothing. And, Dan Shaughnessy wrote about this 2 weeks ago. I've been singing about it all season. This team feels like it's earned something that it hasn't earned yet. Okay? You don't walk around like you've got rings when you don't have one. Not a ring, rings. They walk around like they've won 2 or 3 already. They have no fucking business acting this way. And after the Atlanta series, which we both said should have been a sweep, Philly should have been 5 max. Okay, max. But that game one
could have been 6. Could have been 6.
Game 1 and game 5.
You're right.
I'm sorry. Right. There's no excuse for either one.
Especially with Embiid out in game 1.
That's the worst part about it. They could have swept these.
I'm
saying
that was mortal
sin. It
sin.
took Jason Tatum dropping a playoff game 7 record. Now they blew them out. They basically Philly quit in the third quarter. But I mean, they made them quit. Fine, that's just the same thing.
They really just went.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah, but the thing is, that's when they're focused. And you'd think after 2 series in last year's finals,
dude,
when are you going to learn? How many fucking times do we got to go through this?
Dude, that's why we came in here on Sunday night. And we spoke glowingly because when you see them going right. It's a great thing.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
If you're you have to like the Celtics, but if you love the game, when they're on, they're fun. Mm-hmm. They're fun in every way that a team is fun. But when they
can run, they can shoot,
they can do
go
everything.
To the basket,
they can pass, they can move without the ball. Their defense is suffocating. They can do it all. That's what's so maddening about them. But you have to bring that effort. You don't just flip. You don't just, okay, here we are. Just bow down. Jaylen Brown, who to me has been their best player in the postseason, except for the one game where Tatum went off. Jaylen Brown admitted this after the game. Hey, we're up now. We took our foot off the gas. Why the fuck? What? Why? Basically, you're telling the world we are fucking stupid. That's what you're saying, Jaylen Brown. We are fucking stupid. And you know why you're saying that, Jaylen Brown? Because how many fucking times have you guys done this? And by the way, this is not a team that's wet behind the ears. This is Tatum's 4th conference final in 6 years. Marcus Smart's 5th. These guys have been around the block. When are you going to fucking learn?
I didn't realize Tatum's been in 4.
This is his 4th. Jaylen Brown's 4th also. These guys are not wet behind the ears. This should not come down to coaching. It shouldn't. But it's probably going to because you dickheads, think you're better than you are where you can just show up. And every time you do that, you lose. You fucking lose.
See, this is where...
And most of the time, it's at home.
If we could edit, we'd bring in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. We'd bring in Willy Wonka, and he'd be like, you lose.
Good day, sir.
You get nothing. Nothing.
How many fucking times...
You stole fizzy lifting juice. You bumped your head on the ceiling, which now has to be clean,
sterilized, and scrubbed, so you get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
I said good day.
Like, literally, that was Spoelstra to them last night.
And then that psycho sees a gobstopper and fucking does a 180.
Yes.
And says, oh, Charlie. Yes. Charlie, you're the one, you've won.
See, Charlie Bucket is clearly a fictional character. Because after that, no kid would fucking do that.
Nope.
No fucking kid would do that. There may have been a kid who might have done it before he yelled at him like that, but after that, no kid's doing that.
A kid might have kicked him in the nuts.
Yeah, no kid's doing that.
Fuck off.
Charlie Bucket is truly a fictional character. Okay.
And Charlie Bucket's grandfather, who couldn't get out of bed
for 20
to help work for his family, could suddenly go to the chocolate
all their money
factory.
Went to his tobacco. What a manipulating son of a bitch he was. And
I remember the first time my sister said, man, look at these grandparents.
Oh, they're awful.
Oh, man.
And he literally popped up the second week. What, the chocolate factory? Oh, shit. Hey, whoa, there's a circulation again. Whoa, look what happens. You move your fucking foot to the right 90 degrees. Unfucking believable. But anyway,
we're comparing the Celtics
to Grandpa Joe. Grandpa Joe.
Grandpa Joe.
Yeah, because when they show up, that looks like, oh, yeah, look at that. You're playing defense. Wow, you're winning. What a fucking surprise. They kind of go hand in hand.
So what's the golden ticket for Game 2? What's the golden ticket that's going to get them out of bed?
Why do they?
I know you don't have the answer to that. I was just.
It's not that. Funny. It's common. You're down 0-1. Mm-hmm. If you go down 0-2, it's over. I don't think you need a coach to tell you that. That's just simple math.
It's over if they go down 0-2?
They're not beating this team 4 out of 5. They'll quit. They'll fucking quit. They'll fucking quit. And they'll cry the little sob story. And it's a learning process.
Dude, I don't know. You've said it yourself. They never play until there's a fucking threat. Maybe they do need to go 0-2.
They go 0-2, they're done.
They really don't want to do that.
They don't want to do that. Going back to Miami, they'll get swept.
That would suck.
If they go down to Miami 0-2, they ain't coming back from Miami.
I saw Heat fans talking shit to Knick fans on Twitter because Knick fans have obviously
jumped on the
Celtic bandwagon. So while they're watching the game, they're going, look who just hurt Jaylen Brown. Bam Adebayo's fucking ass. And they're saying stuff like that.
I mean, look, the thing is Boston stopped Boston last night. Again, it's self-inflicted. It is. Yeah, but when they bring their A game, they couldn't.
But all the Heat's bullshit was on display too.
Of course it was.
All the fake foul calls where they're throwing their hands and doing shit. Oh my God,
Bam Adebayo has become an exceptional flopper.
I told you, all of them.
I mean,
Jimmy Butler will grab your arm and then pull his arm.
Yeah,
back.
Butler was he thought he got to steal from his spot, but his right arm was wrapped around his waist. He thought that he had it covered. The ref couldn't see it.
But what about the call on Derek White, where Derek White plays great defense on him? Mm-hmm. His hands are down at his waist.
And they call the
and
foul.
And Jimmy Butler grabs his arm.
Yeah, grabs his arm. It's just.
I'm like, and that's a foul on Derek White? What? Why aren't more calls challenged?
Because the coach doesn't understand.
Do they want to save him till the
momentum to see he's not even using them.
So
if he's not going to call a timeout, he's not going to challenge a call. I mean, he's just he's just part of the problem. Honestly, at this point,
they know what the fuck to do.
They know what to do at this point. You've seen this team. You know everything this team is about. There's no fucking excuse for what happened last night. Not at all. You can blame Jason Tatum for disappearing in the fourth quarter. The whole fucking team. All of them. Every fucking one of them fucking fell asleep at the wheel last night. All of them. They're all guilty. Okay? And then the coach on top of it. They're all fucking guilty. And for Joe, by the way, this was a gem. You didn't hear this one. I forget who the reporter was from Boston, but he asked Joe, he brought up the fact you've now lost 4 games at home in the playoffs. Like, how does a team of this caliber?
Who brought that up?
One of the reporters from Boston. Mm-hmm. And he says, look, man, it doesn't matter where we play. It's about what we do. We're just as confident on the road as we are at home. And by the way, we won. This is what he said. We won 3 of the 4 quarters. Joe Mazzulla said that in front of a live audience. Okay? Do you understand how monumentally stupid that is? Does anyone understand? I'm going to pause and let that thing permeate for a minute. He looked at the reporter. His response was, and by the way, we won 3 of the 4 quarters.
He's reading out a silver lining.
That is the worst fucking line I've ever heard from a coach.
He's trying to see the silver lining.
I don't think Matt Patricia's that dumb.
Oh, stop it.
Oh, I've never heard Matt Patricia say anything that ridiculous.
Matt Patricia applied.
And he's a moron.
Applied and got the offensive coordinator job. Although that was actually smart.
That was Bill Belichick's fault. That's arrogance. That's Bill Belichick going, I'll make him something. I'm smarter than all of you. I'll turn him and you watch.
And then you know what? The only dumb thing the Eagles have done in probably the last 6 years was hiring him.
Matt Patricia. I got news for you. The Eagles are not going to the Super Bowl this year. Just because that bum's in the building.
Nah.
He's just canceled.
Dude, at one point, was Matt Patricia a good defensive coordinator? You're saying he got by because Belichick was there
That defense was loaded with talent. And every time they screwed up, you could tell Bill Belichick was in the next meeting. You could totally fucking tell. You could. If you, trust me.
When was Patricia there?
He was there for 3 of the last Super Bowl. He left to go to Detroit. They beat the Rams.
What was that, 2017?
2018. And then he got the job for Detroit. He was there 3 years. He sucked the life out of them. He destroyed careers. He destroyed the fan base. In 3 years, he destroyed Matthew Stafford. He destroyed Matthew Stafford.
Was Calvin Johnson still there?
No, he was gone. He was gone already. He was gone already.
Who did they have?
I forget, but he just destroyed. I don't know. They all left. Anybody's going to go get the fuck out of there. Like
but now they're good.
The year after he leaves, they go 9-8. That's how fucking bad he is, Tom. That's my fucking point. But Joe Mazzulla said something last night that is dumber than I ever heard it come out of Matt Patricia's mouth. You looking into the eyes of all fan bases, the Boston fucking Celtics. There are people watching that, and I know because I'm friends with a few of them on Facebook, that were alive when Bill Russell played. They saw Bill Russell play. That means they went through the Russell era, the Cowens era, the Bird era. All three multiple championships in each decade. They know what greatness is. They know what winning is. You can't say that to a fan base that intelligent, with that kind of experience. They're going to look at you like you're the dumbest motherfucker on earth. And right now, even people that aren't hear that and go, why would you say that?
Why on earth?
Why on earth would you say that? Because in one quarter, you gave up 46 fucking points to a team that is not an offensive juggernaut.
Well, Tatum said that.
How the fuck do you give up 46 points to an offense that at best is middle of the
At least that's what Tatum said.
He's right.
Because like one of the reporters was saying something and they were giving all these reasons about why they lost, and he was like, we lost because we gave up 46 points in one quarter. And that's true.
They had 57 at the half.
It was like they
let that sink in for a minute. They had 57 at the half. They had 46 in one.
They almost doubled.
They almost matched it in one fucking quarter.
What did they get to 80% of it? 85%?
Whatever 47 out of 56 is, or 46 out of 57 is.
I mean,
it's
high
80s,
it's
right? Like 80% of what you did in one fucking quarter against a team that is regarded by many as the best defensive team in the league. In their place, I might add.
Yeah.
Okay.
With the place
juiced up. And Joe Mazzulla's response is, we won 3 of the 4 quarters.
Yeah. I think it just comes down to
that man has no idea how lucky
3 quarters.
How lucky. You want to know why Joe Mazzulla is the luckiest man on earth today? Because I wasn't in that room last night. If I was in that press room last night and I was there, I'd have laughed him.
Taken him down.
I would have laughed so hard they would have had to. They'd have to take me out.
I'm sure he would have given a shit.
I would have fucking laughed so hard. I'd be like, "You are the stupidest motherfucker I've ever met in my life." Are you really saying that to a fan base that has seen 17 world championships? Like they don't know what the fuck happened? Are you kidding me? Joe Mazzulla, halftime adjustments are all about the coach. Your team came out in the second half and took their foot off the gas for the umpteenth time. You're the guy who's supposed to stop that from happening.
How many is ump?
Umpteen? More than 10. More than 10.
More than 12, right?
More than 12.
Because you're in the teens.
Yeah.
It's
umpteenth time.
13 and 19?
Somewhere in there. But they've done it, and a lot of it's been in playoffs at home. Over the past 2 years. It's fucking embarrassing.
Come on, Boston.
And for Jaylen Brown, who didn't understand what he was telling the world, yeah, we were up now. We took our foot off the gas. Basically, what he should have said was, we're the dumbest fucking team on earth. We're fucking stupid. Because how many times have you watched us do this? And yet, here we are again. That, by definition, makes you stupid. If you keep doing the same fucking thing.
I thought that was the definition of insanity.
No, that's stupid. They're not insane.
You're saying they're insane?
I'm saying they're stupid.
But the definition of doing the same thing over and over again, getting the same result, is typically the definition of insanity. Or maybe they're driving you insane.
I'm going with stupid.
Stupid.
Yeah, because nobody there has legally...
Insanely
nobody on that roster, at least legally, is clinically insane. So I'm going with stupid.
So like when we try to understand why this is happening...
We can't! You're asking us...
What do you think... I mean, they've got to be going out there and trying. They're not, right? Or are they just going...
If your second best or whatever says you took your foot off the gas, the whole team, me included...
Yeah, that's weird.
But
isn't that just something people say? Like it's
no. Even if you're thinking that, you don't say it. What you do is you give your opponent the credit.
Yeah.
And what they're also doing is telling their opponent, again, because they're arrogant, yeah, we just took our foot off the gas. There wasn't anything they did. If we had shown, if they kept playing, we'd kick their ass. That's what the Miami Heat are hearing. Yeah. Which, by the way, is bad news for tomorrow night because that's the motivation they need to take 2 off you.
Yeah.
Because then they're like, yeah, really, what was it tonight? Because you knew we were going to go for 2. I guarantee you. That's what, if I'm Eric Spoelstra, I'm taking that clip. And I'm just showing it. This motherfucker thinks you guys would happen. This motherfucker, are you kidding me? Jaylen Brown, how stupid are you right now? Not only are you telling America you're stupid, you're giving your opponent gasoline. Okay, to throw on the fire. You're so fucking stupid. Okay, it's like, oh my God, you haven't proven you can back up your talk. You haven't proven it. Okay, you got no rings. Okay, if you don't got any rings, you've proved shit to Boston Celtics fans. You've proved nothing. No one cares about your personal accolades. No one cares about your stats. They want rings and banners. And if you don't give them that, nothing else you do matters in Boston. No one gives a fuck. Okay? When people look at Patrick Ewing, he's from Cambridge. Everyone in Cambridge, and they saw him play, greatest high school player ever to come out of Massachusetts. Okay? But when they think of him, they think loser.
Well, fuck you, Boston.
Loser. Doesn't have a ring. Loser.
Fuck you, Boston.
Loser. Number one pick in the draft. Loser.
Patrick Ewing's my favorite athlete of all time. So
I'm just
Boston.
telling you that's
fuck Boston.
It could be anybody. It could be anybody until Ray Bork. Yeah, if you don't have rings.
I mean,
that's all Boston cares about.
I believe you're telling the truth. I just think that's a little much. Patrick Ewing did a great job. He was never given enough help, in my opinion.
That's
in New York. He never had a championship roster.
He got there in 94. Got there in 98.
He got there in 94.
Well, they got that far. They were at least close.
And then his number 2 went, 3 for 18 or something?
Number 2 went number 2.
Right. His number 2 went number 2 all over the poop.
His number 2 was number 2 that night.
Yeah, I hate when people say that. Like, Charles Barkley's
I'm not saying all people do this. And by the way, then last night, I knew they were in trouble because Charles Barkley and Stephen A. Smith both guaranteed the Celtics were going to win and they had no chance. Charles Barkley is a kiss of death.
Every time he says it.
The other team wins. Every time he says it. He is the ultimate jinx. Shaq just sits there and laughs at him. Just like, oh, you heard it, America. Bet the opposite. Bet the farm. He literally openly says it on the air.
Whenever they, you know how they have like the promotion with the gambling apps?
Yeah.
And they'll come in mid-game and go, who do you think? Every time he picks,
he doesn't get it right.
I'm like, damn it. Oh, shit.
Never listen to Charles Barkley. Never listen to Charles Barkley.
No.
Never. America. Never
listen.
Do
you have any ice out here?
No, we have it in the hold on, I'm going to break this segment in a minute. But anyway, I was just trying to get an update on the Lakers in Denver.
It's halftime.
It's halftime. What's the score? See the score?
Dude, the Lakers. I can't. LeBron blown that layup. That was.
It was 40-32 when that happened.
Yeah, that's a good call. Good memory.
What is it now? All right, there's a minute to go. It's 51-48. There's a minute to go.
That was a turning point.
It was. Anyway, tomorrow night. It's very simple. Don't go down 0-2. I don't think anything else needs to be said. Don't go down 0-2. And you better be playing defense from the second the ball goes up till there's no time left in the fourth quarter. There's no plays off. There's no anything. And the coach better start playing Grant Williams. This is a physical series. Grant Williams, if nothing else, is physical. You don't need finesse against this team. You need physicality. You got Grant Williams. You have 6 fouls. Use every damn one of them. Okay,
dude. He got his head bounced off the floor in the Phillies series.
He's tough.
And he got up. And he goes.
He's tough.
He gets it.
His blood everywhere. He's in the game 3 minutes later. He's tough. I say this. Grant Williams is tough. He's not smart, but he's tough. Okay, but at least if he's on the floor, they'll have some more. An element of he's not.
Dude. No, okay, so I used to dislike Grant Williams for some odd reason. Yeah, I don't know.
He wanted $20 million.
No, that had nothing to do. This was baseless. Like I looked at him and I was like, that guy's getting on my nerves. But I don't feel like that about him anymore.
No, he proves something.
But now, every time I see him, I think of the time he was on the line and somebody was like, don't miss it. And he was like, I'm going to make both.
And he missed them both.
That's
why he hit him. That's why we hit him. That's why we hit him.
That was good comedy. That was great comedy.
Unless you're a Celtics fan.
And now I actually...
It's like, you fucking guarantee you're going to make 2 and you miss 2? That's the Boston Celtics right there.
So I am from the Mets perspective. I am from the Knicks perspective. So
anyone in the Mets ever be dumb enough to say something like that?
Yes. Are you kidding me? Throughout the years?
Who? One guy.
That would say something dumb like that?
Yeah. And then totally eat shit.
Dude, the Mets have eaten shit for years.
I know, but someone Halftime Lakers by 5. 53-48. Anyway, the bottom line is that right there, that play is the Boston Celtics. That's them. They're all talent. They have no substance. They have no. This is their problem. And when they get mad, and by the way, the biggest reason Game 7 happened or unfolded ways is because they finally got mad. It took Jaylen Brown getting bloody up in the face, but they finally got fucking mad. Okay? And that's the thing. Like, why aren't you mad already? I mean, because people are calling you chokers, me being one of them, that alone should piss you off. Like, chokers? You're going to fucking bury these teams. But no. I don't take our foot off the gas. Are you fucking kidding me? And every time you do that, you fucking lose. Philly, Game 1, for example. Up 9, took you, lost. And they didn't even have fucking Embiid on the floor. How embarrassing was that? Okay, I mean, you don't learn. When are you going to learn? What the fuck is it going to take for something to get through that thick skull of yours? I don't understand this. You guys are the anti-Celtics. The fact that you win. See, here's the thing. And this is why they insult me. My entire life, up until this team, the Boston Celtics were thought of as a team that they were thought of as a team that they did the little things. They prided themselves in the fundamentals. The team always came first. The Boston Celtics have never had a guy lead the NBA in scoring. Never. In the entire history. Never, not once. Bird came in second twice. Never, not once. Havlicek second once. They never had a guy lead the NBA in scoring. Never, not once. It was all about the team. The team always came first. And they were smart. And you made one mistake, they would pounce like the Patriots used to back in the Brady heyday. Okay? That's what the Celtics were. This group is the antithesis of that. They are the fucking...
Shall I say antithesis?
There you go. They are the polar opposite of Celtic greatness. The Celtics won 17 banners being tougher, being smarter. What Miami did to you last night, that's what the Celtics would do to everybody. They literally took 17 glorious championships and shoved it right up your ass. Okay? They literally 17 banners and went, here's how they go. They impaled you with it.
God, this is getting brutal.
Last night was brutal. You think 46 points
Game 1.
46
You're the one
points,
yelling at me that it's only
46 points in the third quarter.
Dude, I'm just
wasn't brutal.
Just trying to calm you down.
You can't calm me down.
No,
because every time
it wasn't as brutal as a fucking flagpole being impaled up.
That's what Jimmy did.
God.
Here you go, guys.
It was like I felt it. Like, oh.
And he twisted it, too.
Oh.
And no lube.
Stop.
It was like getting a colonoscopy and you're awake.
Ew.
It's awful.
A colonoscopy with a flagpole.
Yeah. That's what Jimmy
Full
Butler.
of championships.
That's what Jimmy Butler did to you last night. Here's the thing. If the Boston Celtics ever got the intensity to match their talent, they'd win this series in 5.
Just like
they'd never lose another game. But they won't do that.
Too bad.
They won't. They might win tomorrow night. They'll relax. They'll lose Game 3. Maybe they win Game 4. Maybe they don't. I don't fucking know. Unfucking believable. You can't be the deepest team in the history of the sport and play like this.
Damn it. Let me ask you a question. Dude, could I have one of those? Do you have any left?
Mm-hmm. Of course I do.
Why was Pritchard playing so many minutes last night?
I don't know. This is not the matchup for him. Grant Williams should have been in the game. Everyone said this today, and everyone got this one right. Why wasn't Grant Williams playing? They were being physical. Jimmy Butler it wasn't that he didn't stay in front of him, but he could shoot over him. Yeah. That's the problem. He never got around Pritchard. No. He just backed him down and shoot over.
Pritchard never looked like a liability out there. I was just kind of confused because at one point he was on the floor and Tatum wasn't on the floor, and I was like, "What's going on?" Like,
I'm assuming Jaylen Brown was.
Yeah, he was.
That's usually how they do it. They always try and leave one of them on the floor.
But in the fourth quarter, with 8 minutes left, Tatum's got to be on the floor.
In the fourth quarter, with 8 minutes left, the lineup should have been Horford, Time Lord, Marcus Smart, Brown, defensive lineup. I never saw that lineup again after the first quarter. And nobody was in real foul trouble, so that should have been the lineup.
Once you go up 13, you could do that too.
Defense. They made their bones on defense. They'll only win a championship if they stress defense. If they continue to do this, as I said, somebody's going to get them.
That sucks. Because now I feel like I'm an adopted Boston fan now. Because y'all are playing the team that just put us out, and I've never been one of those people that roots for the team that knocked my team out. And
well, it's hard because you're mad.
Right.
It's like,
one time we beat the Pacers, and Reggie Miller said that on David Letterman. He's like, you got to go with who knocked you out. So he was rooting for the Knicks, and I was like, I would never root for that. I mean, I respect that.
The reason he says that, how he explained it, but if you're going to lose, you want to know the team that beat you was the best team.
That I don't.
You do. If they win the championship, you're like, well, at least they lost to the best team in the world.
Yeah, see, that doesn't make me feel any better.
I didn't say it did. I'm just saying you can at least go, all right, well, they were better than us. Not only were they better than us, they were better than everybody else, too. They were.
To me, it's not a consolation
But if you lose to it, it's not a consolation prize.
No, I respect it because I'm too, too weak and too hurt to root for that team. No, y'all just knocked us out. I'm not rooting for you. So I respect it. I just, I'm such a little baby once my team goes out. Like,
all right.
I can't stand Miami. I think they're the worst thing ever. Kyle Lowry is #1 villain on my list right now.
This is the thing.
Jimmy Butler's another villain.
The thing about it is
out and guaranteeing Game 1 victory and then doing it is like fucking $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase shit.
Larry Bird shit.
Yeah.
That's what he did. He Larry Birded you. That's what he did. He basically got in your head, he danced around, fucked with you, and you pooped yourself in the fourth quarter.
And y'all are
talk
all
about
better
pooping
than
yourself. Those turnovers, talk about stupid turnovers. These were like Keystone Cops fucking, what the fuck are you doing? Like you forgot how to play, like you dropped your brain in the locker room turnovers. And there was Tatum and Brown.
Well, no, Time Lord and Marcus Smart had that bad one where
that was
bad. They both don't. It was the shit I was telling you about the Knicks running into each other for rebounds, and then whenever you get a rebound, your feet are on the fucking lines on the baseline, and then Time Lord, as he grabs that rebound, Marcus Smart's standing right there and then turns his back.
Yeah.
As he's falling out of bounds.
And throws it to the Heat.
And then Time Lord does the thing that everybody always says. Never throw the ball
under your own basket.
I was 4 years old, I think, when I learned
That's
that.
how
and I didn't play basketball until I was 9.
That's how stupid the Boston Celtics are. And he's not lying about that because the first time I heard it was the very first basketball camp I was at. I wasn't even
never
older.
Throw the ball.
You never throw the ball in your own basket. I don't care what's going on.
Because every time you do,
bad things happen.
Especially if you're not looking. He threw it behind his back. The one part of that play that annoyed me is Marcus Smart was watching that happen
and didn't call for the ball
and turned his back. Yeah. So if he had realized, my teammate's falling out of bounds,
they're so fucking stupid.
Why would you turn?
They're so fucking stupid. I said it on Facebook this morning. JV level, high level turnovers. That's what it was.
Isn't that the same term I used for the Knicks last week? I said the Knicks are playing like a JV team.
I was saying that when they lost to Orlando. They're like a JV team. This goes back to December.
It really looks junior varsity.
Junior varsity.
With the turnovers. We had some
bad turnovers. Do you remember what your worst... See, I always go to the worst high school basketball league in my state. It was like JV. It was like Tri-Valley JV level. The Tri-Valley League was like one of the worst. It wasn't just JV. Oh no, it was Tri-Valley League JV level.
Dude, my JV team in high school.
Do you remember who the worst league was? High school basketball league was in your state, or at the time you were there?
No, I don't even know the leagues in my state. But I know this. My JV high school team, we had some trash ass turnovers. Oh my God! In my lifetime, I've had some trash turnovers. I've had. Okay. Bringing the ball up, like got a guy on my hip trying to call timeout and getting my pocket pick turnover. Yeah. And that happened to me on the JV team. Yeah. Calling timeout, trying to call timeout and you get fucking picked. That's dumb and embarrassing. It was JV.
Yep. I had one on the JV as a freshman. And the thing about it is I had like 38 points in this game. But we're playing.
Blow yourself and then tell them how you messed up.
I cost us the game.
I scored 85 in that game, and then I made a mistake
I scored 38 points in that game, and I cost us the game. And ready for
so you pulled the Jalen Brunson?
Worse. Listen to how I did it. We're at the foul line.
You're right. Yours was probably just as big a game as Jalen Brunson's.
No, but I'm saying this was a worse mistake. Because this is one you literally think this is and the thing is, it was the first and last time it ever happened to me because it literally cost us a game. There are 2 seconds to go. We're up to the guy's at the line. He's got to make 2 free throws to tie. Okay. Now I'm under the basket. It's me and the center is across from me, and so I've got a guard on my hip. I'm 6'3" at the time. He's probably 5'10", 5'11". That's even worse. So he makes the first one. He misses the second one. There's 2 seconds to go. I don't step in, because on a free throw you step in to box out. I don't step in. Kid steps right in front of me, catches it, and puts it in as time expires. And we lose by 1.
That's ugly.
My JV coach, I swear to God, I've never seen a face like that in my life.
Did he scream at you?
He didn't know. He was so mad. He didn't know what to do. He fucking was like, he was shaking. He was red and he couldn't speak. He was so mad. He was looking at me like he was like his head was about to explode. And I just looked at him like that. It was the last time.
So did you poop yourself? You just weren't thinking?
I wasn't paying attention. We're up 1. He's got to make it to tie it.
What were you thinking about?
Well, I think what happened was the guy that was on the line was a really good foul shooter. So I was expecting him to make it.
So okay.
That's what I think.
Okay,
I was
so
thinking.
You go to the line going, fuck, they're tying it.
Well, I'm thinking we have 2 seconds. Can I throw a touchdown pass? Do we call timeout? Are we just going to go to overtime? That's what I'm thinking.
You're thinking too far
I'm
ahead.
not thinking he's going to miss this. Which is what I should have been thinking. Okay?
But
if I boxed out, we win the game.
You're not dumb for that.
I am dumb for that because I am dumb for that. But I was a freshman in high school. Think about what you just saw last night. And I said to you, JV level, just gave you 2 of them, and that one is as bad, if not worse, than the 2 you and I just described. In the NBA playoffs, a 4-year professional in the Eastern Conference Finals makes that mistake. Oh, yeah. Shameless plug. The good doctor.
This venting session on the Boston Celtics brought to you by Dr. Pepper and Cream Soda, zero
I was
sugar.
literally today on my way to work thinking about a joke. You know how they used to do the whole "your mama's so fat" and then they just say something?
Yeah.
I was coming up with, the Boston Celtics are so fucking stupid. You know, they think the world is flat. They think this, they think that. This is on the way to work. It's like, they're so fucking stupid. They just like, and everyone was like, worse.
They think like Kyrie Irving.
Oh my God, they're so fucking stupid. Okay. Like, I forget what they were. It was in the car. I couldn't write them down. I was driving, but I was laughing out loud, going, they were outrageous.
Like Ron DeSantis.
They're so fucking stupid.
They like Donald Trump.
You know, they see their mother and they go, "Wait a minute, why are you bent over?"
What?
With dad, like it was a whole. They see their parents doing. They go, they see their dad doing their mom doggy style, and they go, "Mom, why are you bent over?" Like, you know why I'm bent over?
What?
There's so
that was on the list. That's not a good one.
It was stupid. Like, if you see your mom bent over with your dad, why do you think she's bent over?
That's a weak one.
Why do you think she's bent over? Tell me why. What
other
reason?
Random example.
It's just, I was just throwing them out there.
There's better ones than that.
I'm sure there are. I'm sure I said them, but that was just one of the dumb ones that I remember that I was still laughing
at. Don't bring up your worst one.
Because I don't know. I don't know what my best one was. The point is, I'm so mad at them. That's what it's come to, because they are the antithesis of what the Boston Celtics are about, and they act like they've got banners plural up there.
They do.
They act like that.
There's banners all over that place.
On top of being monumentally stupid, they're also monumentally arrogant. Okay, which is the word. And so when I say to you, part of me wants them to lose, so I can sit there and go, fuck you, you don't deserve it. Because they don't deserve it.
I don't believe it.
I don't care if you don't believe it. Don't believe it. A part of me, if they lose this series, is not going to be upset about it because they deserve it. You get what you deserve in life. And when you play like this, when you act like this, you deserve whatever you get. And I'm not too biased to say that about my own team. Okay? I've been trashing Bill Belichick for 3 years. He's the Patriots. He's the Patriots. He's the Pats head coach. He's won 6 Super Bowls here, and I am trashing him, rooting for him to lose, and you think I'm making this up. You've already seen me do this with one of my...
I don't think you're making it up. I think Okay, let me explain why I say I don't believe that. I'm not saying you're sitting here lying.
I'm not lying about
What I'm
that.
saying is...
I'm in a conundrum right now.
No.
I'm being told.
What I'm saying is your emotion is taken over.
Yes, it
Your
has.
anger has corrupted you and spiraled you. Okay? And I think...
And yet, it's all justified.
I'm not saying it's not about...
all justified.
It's not about justification.
I'm not taking this too far, boys and girls.
Look,
I'm not...
Let me finish. That's not what I'm saying.
What are you saying?
But that has taken over. I think if you could remove all that and get into your heart, that big, cold heart,
Cold. You said it.
you would find that you actually love the Celtics. You want them to win. You know they are better than they're playing. You want to see them play well. I think that's what's truly in your heart. You can tell me you don't want them to win, or there's a part of you that doesn't want them to win. But you would rather they won.
I'll tell you why.
You would rather they won,
know,
and you can't tell me different.
I'm not. Yes, I can. And you know what? This is
No,
my
no,
fault.
no, no, no.
I didn't. Let me finish. I did not explain this correctly. Here's the problem with them winning. If they win like this, they'll continue to play like this. Okay? And I don't want to keep watching this, Tom. I don't want to keep watching this team. By the way, here's a trivia question for you. Name me the last NBA champion that lost 4 home playoff games in one postseason and won the championship. I'll wait.
Has it happened?
It's never happened.
Never happened.
It's never fucking happened. And this ain't going to be the first time.
Yeah, but okay, so
And it's all
here's the
self-inflicted.
only thing about what you're saying is, saying it like that to me makes me think, okay, you want them to lose so that they can realize
That
we
talent,
can't do it this anymore.
talent is not enough. Because it's
and
not
we're gonna
enough.
get better.
It's
Okay,
never been enough.
but
Why would it be enough now?
But here's the thing. Who's to say, or how can you say that them losing is going to make that happen? We can't, right?
Because it'll have happened twice. Consecutive years.
So my thing
And
is
eventually they have to look in the mirror and go, we can't
but my thing
think
is
like
this, dude.
this anymore.
If they're going to play like this regardless, you might as well take a championship or two with it.
They're not
if you got to
gonna-
go through this roller coaster all year, you might as well take a championship. Because if they lose this year, there's no guarantee that next year they go, let's not do that to ourselves. Because they did it to themselves last year too. And they did it to themselves against Atlanta. They did it to themselves against Philly.
Part of the problem.
Now they're doing it again.
Part of this problem
Take the championship.
is that the reality is, had Milwaukee been healthy last year, or Miami, they wouldn't have got to the finals. because
You
of
always
this.
said that. You did always say
That's the only reason they got that far last year.
So you think they're better this year?
Well, they have Brogdon, they have Blake Griffin off the bench. They're better. They're deeper. They're a deeper team. They got in Derek White's second year. They're a deeper team than they were last year. The Time Lord's healthy. Last year he was in that lineup. He's healthy. They're a deeper team.
Time Lord's good, man.
The first half he dominated. He didn't play a lot in the second half either. What the fuck was that all about? It's like, I don't get it. I mean, the bottom line is,
Did he get hurt?
I don't know.
Because remember when
They both
he was
went to the
diving?
floor. That's the other thing. They're fragile. They get hurt like fucking.
Jaylen Brown's not too fragile. He's tough.
Well, he
right?
got up, but he milked it.
Yeah.
He fucking.
Well,
milked
that's the everybody's got to act. Everybody's got to be theatrical.
it. Grant Williams wasn't acting.
No.
Fucking face.
Well,
was smacked in
fucking
the fucking
7-footer stomped on his head.
7 foot, 280-pound gorilla did it. Stepped on his fucking like a freaking one of those big silverbacks. Crush him. Like, that's the kind of power that Joe Embiid has. He's a big dude. But like, oh my god. Anyway, but Grant Williams popped up. And then remember when did you hear the exchange when they talked to each other? Like, Embiid's a class act. He came over, he apologized, which is cool. And he goes, "Hey man, we're both fighting for this." It was the coolest response I ever
Grant
heard.
Williams actually wasn't even like.
He wasn't mad.
Yeah, at all.
He understood it. Like Grant Williams, I gained so much respect for Grant Williams in that moment because he could have said anything and been right, given what Embiid did to him. But he's like, "Hey man, we're both fighting for the same thing. No, it's all fair. It's all good." That was the coolest response I think I've ever seen to something like that.
Yeah.
And it came from Grant Williams, which is why I have a hard time hating him now, because that was one of the coolest things I ever saw. So that almost makes
that's what
up.
I said. I don't like. I don't dislike him anymore.
I know, because of that.
Yeah.
And that's fair. He again, character. Adversity breeds character. He in that moment showed that was pretty cool. Pretty cool.
The reason I like him is because of I'm gonna make both. I feel bad for him for that.
I hated him for that. I was like, you fucking moron.
I saw that and I was
How
like,
do you say that?
There was something about when he was at Tennessee, I got the idea that he was like this arrogant prick. Like, I don't know why. It was complete
Probably
judgment.
he was.
He seemed like an arrogant prick. Yeah. But when he said, I'm going to make both, and he looked so scared. He was like,
I know. He almost wet himself on the
and then he
drooled all over himself.
Yeah.
I mean, like, what the fuck?
That made me know he's not an ignorant prick. You know.
Anyway,
an ignorant prick would have made both. I mean,
they have to.
Sorry.
I don't know what to say at this point. I just don't know what to say. You lose game.
Dude, you've said it all.
I will say you lose game 2. It's over. That's how I'm going to leave this.
Boom.
You shouldn't lose another game in this series.
You shouldn't lose another game in your lifetime.
Not with this team. Not
After
this
what you've done to my life,
barring
you
injury,
deserve everything you're going
from
to get.
From a talent perspective, when they show up and combine both, to your point, if they play like that, and that's mental, not physical. Again, you're going to miss shots, but effort you can bring every night. And this is the playoffs. This is the Eastern Conference Finals.
You're full effort. They should beat Miami all day.
All day long. All day long. You play as hard as you can for 48 minutes. They can't stay with you. Hard and smart for 40. That's all. Hard and smart for 48 minutes. That's all they did to you. Okay? Run them off the three-point line. Keep Bam Adebayo off the glass. And for God's sake, stop covering Jimmy Butler with a shorter person. For the love of Christ. I mean,
who do you think did well on Jimmy?
No, when they stay, all they do is they kept screening until they got the matchup they wanted.
I thought Derek White did
White did good. Marcus Smart did good.
I don't know if I liked Brogdon.
It was all about Brogdon was too small.
Yeah, I thought Brogdon could guard him better than that.
He's too small for him. Brogdon and Pritchard struggled with it. And I understand that. And the big men when they got caught in the switch because he was quicker.
Yeah.
So, no, I get it.
Yeah, there was a lot of pick and roll.
But this I keep saying, double the screen. Make him give the ball up.
Yeah.
I don't understand why teams don't do this.
Yeah, but then he gives it up to this kid Strauss, and it's like
you deny.
He looks like fucking Steph Curry.
You deny the shooters, and the guy in the middle. You leave one guy open and don't leave Strauss open. Leave the worst shooter open. That's not hard to do. I'm like, deny everybody else, and then you recover, but get the ball out of his hands.
Yeah.
They did it to Harden in 3 games, and they shut him down 3 times. Get the ball out of his hands early, or check him at half court like Jaylen Brown was doing in the Philly series, and don't let him get comfortable.
Who was Jaylen Brown was doing that to James Harden? Yeah.
In game 2, from game 2 on, he was at half
that's
court.
the type of shit that Miami was doing to the Knicks. They were putting somebody on Brunson.
And they were waiting
it just makes him work that much harder.
It does. When you have to start your offense from half court as opposed to 3, it's like 15, 20 feet. That changes everything.
Right. You literally have to focus every second of the damn game.
Yeah. And that's what the Celtics need to do from here on out. And because honestly,
put the pressure on them.
Seriously, what the fuck? I mean, get angry.
Right.
Why aren't you fucking angry? Honestly, you should still be angry about letting that championship you gift wrapped it last year. That should be your anger. Because until you get that damn trophy in your hand, you should be angry. Because you gave one away last year. That should be your motivation. You don't need. It doesn't matter who the opponent is. The opponent is you. You are playing yourself right now. You're beating yourself right now. That's the thing. And if you stop doing that, start by getting pissed off. Remember what happened last year when you had to watch Golden State celebrate on your floor? On your floor, you watch that celebration. How the fuck did that not stay with you all? How is that not? How are you not thinking about that right now? You're 8 wins away from a championship. How is that not ringing in your ears right now? I don't get this team. I don't get them. They're divorced. It's like you say to me, well, your emotions have taken over. Because common sense can't explain this. That's why my emotions have taken over, because I can't look at this logically. There's nothing logical about it.
Many things involving humans cannot be explained with common sense. We know this.
Segment 2.
It's a human condition.
Segment 2. The Mets have taken 2 of 3 from Tampa. We're going to talk about it. Somebody might as well smile tonight because it ain't going to be me.
Oh, yeah. I'm so happy. I'm through the moon.
It's a start.
Through the moon?
It's a start.
Am I to the moon or through the moon?
Thirsty Thursday.
Through the roof.
What's the other Thirsty Thursday or?
THC Thursday.
What is it?
THC Thursday.
THC Thursday. Yep. So we're going to find Yoda. We'll see you on the other side. Segment 2, Mets. 2 in a row. Off the best.
We don't even need to talk about this crap.